Law Simplified with Justice, the new informative, educative, and thought-provoking program is what you need to keep abreast with law and politics. This exciting and truly refreshing program is anchored by Justice Maduforo, a solicitor.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a soul-searching discussion here with my colleague. We've been dissecting sole responsibility under the individual rule, those under 18 and those above 18 years of age as well.
Law Simplified with Justice understands that law is a powerful driver to human behavior. It is therefore poised to simplify the law and get you to take action.
Bring it to your doorstep and simplify it the way that you will understand.
Contact Justice by calling 07931 727 597 or email lawsimplifiedwithjustice@yahoo.co.uk. Law Simplified with Justice, bringing the best to the audience.
I welcome you back again to the show. I'm sure you are getting quite a lot of things from what we're discussing here, an opinion we are giving out here. I'm still discussing with your favorite discussant today, Alex and Mike. I want to say thank you for your contribution here. Now, I want to now discuss Alex. Alex, you wrote a book, and the book is Defending the Guilty.
Yes, Defending the Guilty.
To start with, I'm sure you've had a review and talked about this book. How did you come about with the topic first? Because if you say defending the guilty, does it mean that you've said that this suspect is guilty already?
That's not what it means at all, no. I use the title ironically because people always say, I'm sure you hear it all the time, I know Mike hears it all the time, when you're a criminal lawyer, the first thing that someone says to you is, how can you defend someone who you know is guilty? And so that's the question that comes up time and time again. And that's why I called the book Defending the Guilty, because people always are assuming that the people who come to court charged with an offence, having been arrested, are necessarily guilty. And of course, we know that that's not always true at all.
So that was the insight for the topic of this book.
That's right.
I actually looked at it and quite a lot of reviews. Some say very hilarious. Obviously, I was actually reading this with my colleague and one of my colleagues, and he said he should be defending the suspect. Obviously, which is why I started to ask you first of all, why not just defending the suspect rather than the guilty? Somebody who looks at it and says, "Oh, I know that's what they do." Is it be sure? Can one say that once somebody who's been arrested, charged to court, is obviously guilty of it? Is that the position?
That is not my position at all, no. But that's the position that the layman has who are not involved in the criminal courts. And I wanted to use that title for people to say, yeah, because we all think they're guilty, and then read the book and realise that, of course, some people are guilty, but some people aren't guilty. And I also want to take the reader into the criminal courts, into the police cells, to meet the judges, the prosecutors, the other barristers, and see what a barrister's life is like behind the scenes, as well as explaining the things that we lawyers can also get wrong. So you can laugh at the story, but also laugh at the lawyers too, which is no bad thing.
I see that you were trying to balance the both sides. It was when I read it, it was really very exciting to go through. It's not like this legal book that you sit down, you must, with the legal jargons, that comes through the book. It's quite simple once you read, and but that is what all about defending is. A counsel, a barrister is supposed to defend the suspect robustly, irrespective of what was charged, obviously, and that's why you caption this, defending the guilty. Obviously, you've explained now that this is the layman's opinion, but you are not seeing it from that angle. You're seeing it from a professional angle that once somebody is charged to court, you represent the defendant, and you represent the defendant based on his instructions.
Of course.
And so,
absolutely.
Is that any time, obviously, a defendant can be cajoled to say, listen, evidence is quite stark here, you better change it. Or to say, stick on to what you're saying, I will run with it.
Well, as Mike well knows, as you well know, a lot of our job can be telling people who are facing serious charges, where the evidence is very strong, that the best thing that they could do is plead guilty, because that is in their best interest. And I am there, and Mike is there, and you're there to look after someone's best interest.
Absolutely.
And, sadly, sometimes someone's best interest can be to plead guilty and get a reduction in sentence or avoid going to prison rather than fighting it, when it's a hopeless cause, and then having the judge at the end saying, right, if you'd pleaded guilty, I wouldn't have sent you to prison, but because you haven't pleaded guilty and you've made us have an expensive trial and asked the witnesses to come to court when you have a jury, I am going to send you to prison. And that happens a surprisingly large amount of time.
Right. So the best interest of the client is always the watchword there.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know, the book is quite fascinating with a lot of, quite a mixture of comedy here. If I'll put it that way, you know, sometimes you read through and you see quite a little bit of, you're correct, you took readers straight into the courtroom, what things occurred. I was reading one of them and how you went to the Old Bailey and you had to go through a serious case, down through the one door open, the next door, down to the cell. And you keep moving, keep going in there, you know, because this prisoner is categorized as the other category, they have it, you know, more serious and less serious, you know.
Very serious criminal offence. This was someone who lured someone back to his flat, knocked the person unconscious, strangled them, killed them, and then chopped them up into little pieces.
Wow.
And then put them in Tesco bags and put them in the communal bins.
Wow.
Now, the evidence is very strong. The guy's caught because the police find the dead person's blood in that person's flat, and the bins are right next to him, and they have CCTV showing him in the company of the other person. And, of course, I go along with my then boss to represent him. And we're not thinking about the crime, awful though it is. Someone's lost their life, a family is bereaved, but we're thinking about how we can get this person off. And that's how the criminal system works in this country, and it doesn't work if you do not have lawyers who think like that and act like that, but of course acting on, as you said, on people's instructions.
Absolutely.
So it's not what I know. I wasn't there when this man was killed and chopped up.
Absolutely.
It's what I'm told.
I'm told. And
so my belief is neither here nor there.
Right.
It's what I'm told.
Law Simplified with Justice, the new informative, educative, and thought-provoking program is what you need to keep abreast with law and politics. This exciting and truly refreshing program is anchored by Justice Maduforo, a solicitor.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a soul-searching discussion here with my colleague. We've been dissecting sole responsibility under the individual rule, those under 18 and those above 18 years of age as well.
Law Simplified with Justice understands that law is a powerful driver to human behavior. It is therefore poised to simplify the law and get you to take action.
We'll bring it to your doorstep and simplified the way that you will understand.
Contact Justice by calling 07931 727 597 or email lawsimplifiedwithjustice@yahoo.co.uk. Law Simplified with Justice, bringing the best to the audience.